Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. It is just gone around 2 o'clock in the morning. And Spirit has me awake, and I figured I might as well hop on and do video update to where I am energetically and what's coming up, because there's been so many shifts. Well, that's this journey. This journey is shift. This journey is weird. Okay, this journey is all kinds of weird. So yesterday, after a really hard night, last night, it was like a scary fear purge, massive fear purge. I was up and the energies have been intense lately. It's been fiery energies. It's been anger, irritation, and bouncing back down into fear. And then yesterday I had a weird day, a weird but good day, because so weird is I seem to be returning to myself. And when I say returning to myself, it is a returning of some energies I haven't felt in a really, really long time. Like, really long time. A version of me that I knew before I got involved in my narcissistic marriage, that relationship. So that's back 2009. Some aspects of me are coming back from that time, but they're slightly different. But there's a familiarity, even though it's kind of like an upgraded version, in my opinion. So it's enjoyable, but at the same time, slightly confusing, because the person I was back then, I was vibrant, I had energy, I had sex appeal, I had, humor, I had a little bit rock and roll, a little bit fun. So I've been listening to some of my old rock music. You may have noticed with some of my latest light language videos, but it's slightly different than it ever was. Apparently I like metal music now, which I was never a huge metal, heavier. That was never my thing before, but it is now apparently. I listened to punk music before. My top bands were like Blink-182 and Green Day, Jane's Addiction. And I've been listening to Disturbed and, some bands that I didn't normally listen to. So as I said, it's like a return to my old, but it's different. I had vitality before, and that's coming back too, but it's different. It's in a much more confident and authentic vibe. So yesterday I had this heavy playlist that I was listening to called Righteous Rage. And I was enjoying that. I can put a link to it in the description below if you like some heavier tunes. And I was managing to get out into the garden and really clean the garden, like raking and ripping down vines that had overtaken the house and cleaning out gutters, and I'm up ladders and I'm just doing this heavy duty manual labor, which felt incredible because this awakening journey is so exhausting, and you spend an awful lot more time in bed than you ever thought possible. So if you're in a rest phase right now where you're like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, does this ever end? It's been years where I haven't had that degree of energy that I had yesterday, to be able to do that much work and that's incredible. That's incredible. So with these energies, of course, it has me pondering, because I'm doing this manual labor, and I love manual labor because, I love being busy. It is my comfort zone. And to get stuck in to a project felt incredible. So it felt like a return that Spirit was saying, okay, listen, you've gone from being in this one extreme of do all the time, and I've pulled you out of that, and I've forced you to rest for an extended period of time, and I'm going to let you come back into doing. But while you're doing now, you're going to be a little bit more neutral in how you go about doing a project. So it was do, and then sit down and have some food and rest and take my time, and then go back to doing, and then sit back down and rest. Where before I would have just gone balls to the wall and like killed myself. And so how I'm approaching the utilization of the energy is a much more neutral, much more balanced, much more harmonious coming together of my own masculine and feminine energies. So I love that, I absolutely love that. And I'm currently loving looking at myself in the mirror, which is fantastic, because I spent most of my life going, who, who is that person? who? No. So it in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm stepping into the person I was always meant to be. I'm starting to recognize myself for who I always was meant to be, and always felt incongruent or slightly out of. And one of the things that it's got me thinking about that I want to talk about, because if you have been in a narcissistic relationship, it completely, you lose yourself. And that's something that I used to think meant that you prioritized somebody else over you. When I'd hear other people in my past talk about, I really lost myself in that relationship. I thought that just meant, maybe you lost some friends, or maybe you lost some of your activities. But I never understood what it meant to truly lose yourself, like for your identity to be gone, for your mind to be hijacked, for your health to be destroyed. Because that is, without question, what happened to me. And it boggles my mind. It absolutely boggles my brains. How I could have gone from that vibrant, energized, sexy, fun, great sense of humor, vivacious, woman back in 2008. I look at the pictures of myself back in 2008 and prior, for all the time that I was living in Ireland, where I was basically free from narcissistic energies while I was a decade away living as a single mom in a foreign country. And then I returned to Canada, and narcissistic abuse happens in a way that's so subtle, you don't see yourself being pulled down because you're deluded into thinking that you can fix it. So the weight I started putting on almost right away. Like almost right away, my body went into a protective mode because stresses were starting to come almost right away, like within a few months of me moving here. And I moved back and had okay, so we had met at a friend of mine's engagement party, and had been in a long distance getting to know each other type of thing for 8 months or more. And the love bombing that I had experienced was like insane, like just absolutely insane. Like every single day communications, and always on Skype. And I fell hook, line, and sinker. I had that old me was so desperate to find love and family. As a single mom that had been on my own for a decade, I was so desperate to find my own family, and I wanted to build that more than anything else in the entire universe. Like I have never wanted anything so much as that. So I thought, and hindsight's 2020. You don't know. I honestly believed it. I believed it. I fell hook, line, and sinker because they were so persistent and so constant with the attention and the communication, and I wasn't seeing any red flags. Well, that's actually not true because they had only just recently gotten out of a marriage, and so I was like, oh, you need more time to get through that. So I was like not even looking to start something, and it was months and months before I was even considering us like dating or anything. I mean, like 6 months or more. So I was like, oh, I'm okay. Yeah, he's just so persistent. He's so eager that he really, really genuinely just adores me. uh, oh. My greatest regret in my entire life, even though I understand on a soul level that there is a purpose for that as well, but my greatest regret but I wanted to talk about it because when I moved back and we became more enmeshed with each other, and his approach shifted. So where before there was this constant attention, this constant adoration, this constant flow of energy coming towards me, this love bombing phase switched into chaos. And it was always from the perspective of, this vulnerable narcissist. And I don't know if you know the term vulnerable narcissist. I highly, highly recommend you read the book It's Not You by Dr. Ramani, or watch her channel because she introduced me to this whole new concept of narcissism that I hadn't known before. So it's a very, very covert type of narcissism that was so subtle because it was like, oh no, I've gotten myself embroiled into this chaos, and there was chaos with his family I've created, and I'm sure, no doubt, he was feeding that. He was, saying something to one person and saying something else to me. So it was causing chaos between me and a member of his family. And then there was chaos with his ex-wife, and that was turning into like a legal battle. And oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know. And she's coming after me. And, you feel sorry for them. You're pulled into this, your empathy is weaponized and used against you. And so it's like having something wrapped around your ankle, and you're slowly being pulled down into like quicksand, and you don't even know that it's happening, because you're just so quickly trying to like get back to that initial feeling that you had in the get-go. And as I said, there was a lot of time there that we were getting to know each other before we got romantic. So I really thought I had vetted the relationship thoroughly. I didn't realize how foolish I was in misinterpreting everything, absolutely everything, that everything was a scam. Like I could, like, one, like, who thinks that shit up? Who thinks up, I'm in love with somebody else, and so I'm gonna lure this woman and her young son into a relationship with me and just try to destroy them both. Like, who thinks like that? Like, why? Like, just why would you just like go through life and go out of your way to lie, to deceive, to manipulate, to just fuck with somebody? It's just so sick. It really is so sick. And his performance art of being this, vulnerable, down on his luck. One thing's happening. Oh no, there's another legal letter happening. And oh no, I'm having problems at work now. And oh no. Like, so you slowly get sucked down into something that completely and utterly drowns you. And enmeshes you in so much toxicity in such a slow and subtle way. I would have much preferred to have been punched in the face. And I'm not saying to anybody, that's experiencing physical violence, that physical violence is better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for me personally, at least, being punched in the face would have been an obvious example of, this, I have to get out. Whereas this subtle fuckery, was slowly, it reminds me of the story of a frog. And if you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, they're going to jump out, right? But if you put a frog in a pot of water and slowly, very, very slowly turn up the temperature, they don't jump out, they die. They eventually, boil to death. And that's what narcissistic abuse is like being put in a pot of water, and the temperature just changes ever so slightly more, ever so slightly more, ever so slightly more. So you don't notice, the weight that you're putting on, because you're becoming more and more disassociated from reality and getting more and more sucked in to the constant manipulation, the constant lying, the constant reactionary abuse. And you slowly get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And you lose yourself. You lose yourself because, and that's not, you lose your identity. Your identity is stolen from you. Your health is stolen from you. Your mental capacity is stolen from you, because the psychological damage of these cycles of having your cortisol squeezed and milked, like, I'm gonna stress you out, and then, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna like talk to you nicely, and I'm gonna do something nice. Can I make you a cup of tea? I'm gonna take care of you, and then I'm gonna stress you out. I'm gonna stress you out. I'm gonna stress you out, and I'm gonna do these things, and I'm gonna cause crisis, and I'm gonna cause problem. And so over the years, there was constant problem with people through this process of triangulation. And so my social circle got smaller and smaller and smaller. I used to be a very social person, very outgoing and person. And because this was his town and his people, and there was chaos created between all of his people, so that he was free to come and go and do what he wanted. Because I would just be like, I just don't want to go. I don't want to go. I just don't. So one after another, I just became so completely and utterly isolated and alone. And my own social circle was so far from me and so rarely checked on me. I don't even think that they were aware of what was happening to me, because, well, if I wasn't aware, how are they going to be aware? Because certainly at no point did anybody who saw us ever comment to me, I think there's a problem here. I think there's something wrong. I care about you enough, and I've seen you go from being a really vibrant, healthy woman into being, I don't even recognize you anymore. At no point did anybody say that to me, which hurts. That nobody cared enough to see that I was in harm's way. Which is why, when I went through this whole awakening process, I lost everybody. I lost everybody. I don't have any people in my life now that were in my life before, except for my son. So you lose your identity. You lose all your family and all your friends. You just lose one thing over another, and health. And as I said, your mental capacity. So the seriousness that is narcissistic abuse and the damage that it causes is something that I will, for the rest of my life, be impassioned about talking about and bringing attention to, because we minimize to such an extent environmental factors on people's health and wellness. And nobody asks the question or at least nobody asked me the question from doctors that I went to, from counselors that I went to. And I was desperate for help. I was desperate. I went to two family doctors. I switched my doctor because when my health started declining over and over and over, my first doctor was an Egyptian fellow who his answer to everything was, "You're a woman of a certain age." I'm like, I don't think that that's very good medical advice. So I'm going to search for my next, and I found a younger woman, and she was at least willing to send me for testing. But at no point, She was happy to diagnose me with major depressive disorder or general anxiety disorder, and give me meds and send me to psychiatrists or send me to counselors. But at no point did she ever ask me what my home life was like. And then within the framework of those 15 years, I went to five marital counselors. Five. None of them ever told me that there's a serious problem here. Because in a counseling office, they're charming. They're 100% charming. I would leave these offices and I would feel like banging my head against the wall because nothing I said was heard, or, he'd be cracking jokes with the counselors and they'd be laughing with him because he had, would just pull out the charm. I went to cognitive behavioral therapy. I went to dialectic behavioral therapy. I went to somatic counseling. I went to a psychologist. I went to a psychiatrist. And all of those looked like, put the perspective of it must be me that had the problem because I was the one that was having the symptoms. This is an epidemic. This is an epidemic on mass proportion. The amount of people that have been and experienced narcissistic abuse and then are further abused by the medical system that labels them as the ones with the problem. And meanwhile, they have been exposed to such fuckery that it is slowly killing them. People are dying. People are dying because of this type of abuse that goes unnoticed, unchecked, it's just brutal. It's just absolute brutal. So as I see myself starting to come back and starting to be able to have my own physical energy again, have my strength again, listen to some fun music again, a much more empowered version of that music, I gotta say, I'm starting to feel anger again, and that's healthy. It is 100% healthy to feel angry about these situations. Now, do I have an anger management problem? I do not. I'm managing my anger actually quite well because my gutters have never been cleaner. And it's utilizing anger and that fiery energy to stand in a level of confidence and stand in a level of, I'm going to speak my truths. I'm going to stand up for the underdog. I'm going to express my truth and fight. I'm going to fight. And that's what anger energy is I'm going to fight for my very survival. And survival looks different for different people. For me, survival meant I had to physically get well enough to escape. And when you understand that your life is riding on you fixing your health and wellness, you come at it with a different approach. I came at it like I'm Rocky Balboa, and if I don't fix my physical health, I can't escape. So I didn't mess around. A lot of people ask me, how did you lose all that weight, and how did you get healthy? Well, I first realized that if I didn't, I was going to die. That if I didn't escape from that, marriage that I would ultimately, I would have been dead in like 5 to 10 years. And that would have been way too young, where like now I can see that I if I keep going like this, I can at least have another 30 years if it's God's will. But I wouldn't have, with where my health was then, I would have been lucky to get another 5 years if I had stayed in that situation. 5-10 years, my health was declining so rapidly. So when you have that kind of motivation of, if I don't get my physical health well, I'm gonna die, that's a fire under your ass. That's a fire under your ass. And when it came to like the sobriety, I also realized over time that he was fucking with me so severely that if I didn't get sober and have like eyes wide open and observing everything, and that's where I was when it came to the final, because an interesting to note is, one friend said to me, and this was the clincher for me, is one friend said to me, have you ever considered that he doesn't want you to get well? And I was like, no. And I sat with that for a bit, and it made me think of like Munchausen's by proxy. I don't know if you've heard of this condition where like a parent will keep their child sick so that they can like people can pity them, and people can like get pity from medical people or other practitioners or things like that. They go to the doctors and they're like, oh, my kid's got cancer, when they don't have cancer. There's been some like weird documentaries about these people that are like so fucked up that they make their kids sick. And that in a weird kind of way was kind of what the energy was like, because I'd get sick, and instead of feeding me healthy things, he'd feed me like things that were going to make me sicker. When somebody has diabetes, you shouldn't, if you genuinely care about them, you shouldn't be feeding them shit. But he was more than happy to do that, or he was more than happy to always kind of be pushing the alcohol, because his goal is, if she's drunk or high, maybe you'll get laid. So he was happy to push unhealthy things towards me, which, in retrospect now, as I'm starting to see things in a lot more of a clear view, it makes me sick to my stomach. It's revolting. It's revolting. The whole thing is so sick. It's so sick. It's so sick what happened to me. So I'm like disgusted. There's an energy of like disgust, an energy of like anger. There's an anger for this woman that I was. I've talked along my journey about how you have to grieve the loss and soul retrieve. And so it's like I'm retrieving that woman that I was back in 2008 when I was deluded into thinking I had finally found a partnership. I had finally found somebody that wanted to build a family with me, not destroy me, not go out of their way to destroy me, to utterly destroy me, and not only destroy me, but try to destroy my son. Like, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. So this anger that I'm feeling, I'm happy. I'm very happy to have my anger back. I'm very happy to have my strength coming back, my physical as well as psychological strength coming back, because there's nothing worse than being in fear. And PTSD is fear-inducing. It's a fear response, because when you have your cortisol system pumped, pumped over and over and over again for like close to 15 years. The damage that it does to your brain and to your nervous system and to everything, and you're so blind to it. You're desperately trying to get yourself out of the woods. You cannot see, as the expression goes, the woods through the trees, because you're just dealing with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you're like, oh God, I got to deal with diabetes, and oh God, I got to deal with depression, and oh God, I got to deal with this stressor, and oh God, I got to deal with that stressor, and then you get out, okay? You get out, and that's the key, is you have to get out, you have to leave, you have to leave, and when you leave and you have time to sit, and it takes time, so much time, you have time to sit and look around and catch your breath and recalibrate your nervous system, you go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what did I tolerate? Oh my God, what did I put my son through? Oh my God, what happened to me? Oh my God, where did I go? Oh my God, like, and it just blows your mind. It just blows your mind. It just blows your mind, the damage that some people are willing to put another human being through. Recovery takes 1,000,000 times longer than you think it will. I thought because I had pushed through in losing the weight, and I had pushed through in curing the diseases, and I had pushed through in getting off all the addictions, and getting off even the pharmaceuticals that were numbing, and I had pushed through, and then this awakening came, and it just bashed everything out of you, because you're like, how did I get myself into that situation? And you start awakening and my awakening was brutal. Like it was absolutely brutal with all of the trauma releases, because you then start to piece together the puzzle pieces that, I wouldn't have been blind to this relationship had I not had all these horrific experiences as a child that totally programmed me to be ill-equipped to see what was in plain sight. And so you start to heal, and it means healing all the child wounds, healing all of the influences of being pre-programmed by a narcissist to be blind to narcissist. I made a post ages ago that, like I was programmed to love monsters, and that's exactly what I did. And so you have to reprogram, you have to do so much inner child work, like so much to reparent yourself so that you don't ever repeat or reenact these types of things. You have to face all of your shadow. You have to face the decisions that you made that put you into that situation, and rest and recover for months on end before you start to see glimmers of an old version of yourself begin to return. And the devastation that is narcissistic abuse, I'm going to spend the rest of my life exposing it. I will spend the rest of my life exposing it and helping others heal from it, because I see where people get lost and confused on the healing path, because I myself got lost and confused. The first lost and confused is thinking that there's something wrong with you. And thinking and going down all these pathways of, oh, it must be me, and I'm suffering from depression, or it must be me, I'm having hormone issues. Of course, I was having hormone issues. My adrenaline, and I was in a, fight or flight state constantly. That's going to affect everything. When you're in a highly stressed environment, your hormones are going to be affected. Your immune system is going to be affected. Your, the inflammation that's in your body, because your entire body is going to be affected. Like everything, the root cause of so many health conditions it is abuse. It's abuse. It's trauma. And unless people are looking to the root cause and getting to the root cause of their health conditions, and they're staying in dysfunctional marriages thinking there's something wrong with them and trying this med or that med, unless you get out, you won't get well. You'll get worse. You'll get worse. It'll keep getting worse and worse. And I guess this is my public service announcement for the day, is please, 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 please get out. Please get out. If you need help getting out, if you want to talk about getting out, if you want to, book a one-on-one with me to discuss ways and things that you can expect them to do when you're trying to get out, because they will come back and they will haunt you. They will breadcrumb you to come back. They will love bomb you. They will hoover you. They will feed you all the future faking. They will feed you all the lies again. And unless you're like this, like watching intently, and I mean, I got myself stone cold sober so I could watch everything and pay attention to everything. And, I'm getting hoovered left, right, and center. And all of a sudden they're showing up being the nicest person on the planet, opening the car door for me, taking me to medical appointments. And I'm going to make this right. I'm going to do everything right. And then, oh, wait a second. Here's a little I'm going to do a test. There was a little test of, I'm going to cause a little chaos and see how you respond. Oh, I'm going to cause a little bit of something else and see how you respond. Oh, I'm going to try a little bit. I'm going to try a little devaluing here and see how you respond. And I was noticing and noticing and noticing. And when the lie came in, I was like, block, 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 block these people. Go absolutely no contact. This is life and death stuff. I don't care if they're your brother, sister, mother, father, anybody. I'm telling you, if you don't get out, you will die. You will. That's where I was heading. And so if you're starting to accumulate health issues, one after another, take a long, hard look at your relationships, and pay attention to which ones are stressing you out and which ones are causing an ick reaction. If your body is reacting to a feeling of ick and disgust and frustration, get away. Get as far away as possible. Just get away. Save yourself. Please save yourself. I am here to help you in any which way I can. If you're trying to save yourself and create a strategy to get yourself out, and then create a strategy to heal. Because honest to God, I don't think that staying in these situations is going to ever create an environment where you will be able to heal. If you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to to do this or that, as long as you stay in these situations, it will only get worse. And you will lose yourself. And I don't want anyone, nobody on this planet, no one deserves to go through what I went through. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't have a worst enemy, but if I did, I wouldn't wish it on them. I wouldn't wish it even on my ex. I would not wish it on my ex that justice came back and somebody treated him like he treated me. I wouldn't, because it's vile. It is vile. So yes, that's where I'm at today. I'm sending everybody my absolute love, especially if you have endured these types of relationships in your life and you are struggling with the trauma of it. Um, recovery takes time. We have to be very, very gentle with ourselves. I'm going to highly recommend, which I've recommended a million times over, getting the book CPTSD from Survival to Thriving. No, from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. It was very informative and very useful for me. One of the most useful books I've read in identifying the problems and identifying how serious that trauma is, and it puts the pieces together for you. So please invest in a copy of the book, Complex Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. I want to thank everybody very, very, very much for showing up and supporting me through my own recovery. Because as I said, I lost everybody. And so to have people out there cheering me on and telling me I could do it, and, listening to me and hearing me and validating me and all of those things has meant the absolute world to me. I wouldn't have been able to do, I wouldn't have been able to get through this without the support. So I am very, very grateful for all of everybody that has supported me on my journey. I thank you so very, very much. I've had messages many times over how I've been saving others' lives, but you've also saved mine. So we're saving each other, and that's huge. With that all said, peace in.